Going live. Alright. Game here. Now, what time was it? So it's just evening time. We just built this in our last episode as we were traveling south. So it's down from, we're back in Frostbitten realms. Working on traveling south. We've made it this far south. Almost exactly 10,000 blocks south of where we started. Almost. We started way up here. So we'll say that trader. So 600. So we're at 9,300 blocks south of where we started, basically. And I'm trying to get right around 20,000 or so. And for the first time ever, it's only negative 14 degrees, well, almost 15 degrees Fahrenheit at night. So that's very good for us. So we could actually, so I'd say another 10,000 blocks, and we'll probably be seeing, you know, completely reasonable temperatures for maybe starting to grow some stuff. I'm just waiting for it to get a little later at night here. Now it's late enough, we'll take a sleep. The major issue on this trip has been food. Been having to scavenge all kinds of food and avoid polar bears. Polar bears have been a real nuisance too. Okay, we've gotten well rested. I'm gonna pick up the bed. There we go. Knock out this bit of dirt. Yeah, so we still have our soil. Got these large hides. We could tan those or cure those hides. Actually, I think we will. I don't know why I didn't do that the first time. Yep. That will save us a little bit of inventory space. There we go. Actually, I'm going to check something real quick on the stream. Okay, what's going on here? Hello, stream. Let me refresh that real quick. Yep, alright. Well, I don't know. Okay. Seems there's some issues with, like, the chat display on my web interface, but that's okay. What I can do... let's do this. Alright, perfect. There we go. I have a backup way of checking to see if there's any missed chats. Let's grab my shovel out and grab my dirt. I'm going to take this low fertility soil, this barren soil in this case, with me, just because it has value as a sheltering material. I'm going to take it with us real quick. There we go. Alright. Now, let's continue south. I feel like there was some resources of sorts around here that I was looking at before I settled for the night. Put my bed in my inventory there. Alright, so we are well rested, which comes from the X Skills mod. So we got a pine tree over there. What I kind of want to look for as I go south here is I want to look for more dwarf pines, more berry bushes, all that fun stuff. There's a rabbit over there. There's another rabbit. And a third rabbit. It's rabbit heaven over here. Alright, now I don't want to use my... I use my axe. Axe will work. There we go. Dwarf pine. This one's got some on it too. That one's got some on it too. Wow, look at that. Whole bunch of dwarf pine. It's too cold for it to keep growing, so we're still in too cold of an area for it to, like, really survive well. I mean, it is negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit here in the morning. I hear penguins. Where am I hearing penguins at? The other thing I've noticed, with it being as cold as in this particular playthrough, we're not seeing as many, like, surface ores, I'm noticing. It seems like, anyways, or at least as many surface stones, I should say. Like, I can find flint, but I can't seem to find, like, just, granite or other things. More heather leaves. Alright, trying to decide which direction I want to go here. Obviously not down in that cave. That would be a problem to get stuck down in that cave. Empty berry bushes. And I do still have temporal creatures turned on, so, caves like that, not a safe place for me. But anyways, welcome to the stream for folks who are joining. Continuing our journey south in my Snowball Earth world today. Or this evening, I should say. Evening for me. Whatever time it is, people. My goal is to get to around... what is that? Branchy? Yeah, it must be some sort of weird branchy bush. But my goal is to get around 20,000 blocks south of spawn and see what the temperature looks like there. See if it's at least partially warm enough for me to maybe consider doing some farming of some sort. We found spruce leaves. What's a spruce tree? Oh, game? Okay. It just froze briefly on me there for a second. We have quartz. I'll mark it. Not that I ever plan to come back up here, but just so we know. Looks like there's... it looked like something under the ice there. I'm gonna be careful though, because I don't want to run into a polar bear up here. Get some more heather. I don't really need the heather. Yeah, there's like a ton of quartz under there. That's what I'm seeing. Alright. There we go. We got some more plants over here. What do we have here? We have a bunchberry. And these are all empty though, so I'm guessing something's been eating them. Or it's too cold. I haven't decided yet. I've seen them I've come across berry bushes with berries on them, and then if I stay around them too long, the berries seems to despawn. Like it suddenly realized, wait a minute, it's too cold for this plant to have made berries. The whole thing. Oh, we've got mammoths. We've got woolly mammoths. We're not going to bother them though, because they can get aggressive. I'm gonna go see what this is over here though. What do we have down there? That is cave. Alright. That's a less steep cave there. It's a small one. That would actually be worth considering living in, potentially. We're also getting cold though, so let's get out of here. Get down towards that area over there. Alright. What is that? Is that another one of those muskox creatures? Yeah. It's like one of those muskox we've been seeing. Let's see what I've got inventory-wise. So I do have some more firewood, so we should be good for making a fire to warm up here in a little bit. Alright. Now, got this area here, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go with a kind of cheating fire way to warm up here. Nope, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted, game. We can do this. There we go. I'm going to set fire to this bush. There we go. Alright, so let's grab these dirt blocks here. It wasn't enough to quite get us warmed up. There we go. Mildly set myself on fire. Running low on food. Gonna eat a little bit. There we go. Come on, let's warm up just a little bit. How do I keep setting myself on fire? There we go. That's warming us up, though. There we go. Now we're nice and warm. Oh yeah, much better. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and take these dwarf pines nuts here, and we'll make some more pine nuts. There we go. Alright. Stand a little closer to the fire here. Keep getting a little warmer just before we move on. There we go. We're nice and warm now. We can move on. Get down out of these cold mountains. I'm sure that mountain forest fire will be fine. No one tell Smokey the Bear, though. Let's keep an eye out for more dwarf pine. Just because that would be more seeds. Because I do want to plant some dwarf pines once we get to a place where it's warm enough to actually grow them. I've never seen a Snowball Earth playthrough where it's too cold to even grow dwarf pines for people who have that mod. But I suppose if you're like on the poles or something, that would be expected. We are not on this one. Lingonberry's empty. I'm just trying to forage as we move here. Very empty. 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 Good Lord. All these berry bushes are just empty there. At least we're starting to see cattails again. And fish. Oh, we got a trader. Let's go visit the trader. I'm gonna tell him what this trader might have. What do we got there? Oh, we got a little Arctic fox. Alright. Looks like heather leaves over there. Some... Is that blueberries? We gotta go find that. Let's see here. Are these blueberries? No, cranberries. And they're both empty. It's a shame. The blueberry bushes and the cranberry bushes look very similar in design. Alright. Got a trader, you. How you doing? It's a trader. Hey, trader. It's an agricultural supplies trader. What's your name, bud? Urn. Hi, Urn. What do you have, Urn? You've got all kinds... Oh, my goodness. He has oak seeds. Oak seeds! They're 5 gears apiece, though. Let's see. What else he's got? He's got orange bell pepper clippings, greens. Can be planted while still green. Okay. He's also got grape clippings, so you can get grapes. Kapok nuts, which I'm not worried about. Blue cheese. Boysenberry clippings. Oh. Sage fruit. It's also got pine tree seeds. I'm not worried about those. Got strawberry seeds. Man, this guy's got all kinds of cool stuff. Including grapes. He'll buy soybeans, cream ceramic bowls, linen sacks. I could sell him empty bees cups. I actually have the stuff. I can make an empty bees cup, I think. No, I don't have enough for cattails. I have the clay, but not the cattails. Yep. We're gonna remember you, bud. We might come back to visit you at some point. That's a good find. Because that ag trader, his inventory will recycle here and there, and we'll get different items for sale. So we might be able to come back and get some of the seeds we're missing. Or want. I gotta be honest, I'd totally grow soybeans if I could get soybean seeds. We're fine. These are all flowering, not ready to harvest. And as you can see, it's too cold, so they're never gonna get better. Alright, let's keep moving south. That's more heather leaves. It's not what we're worried about right now. Well, we got copper. Got an interesting cave formation. That'd be a pretty place to build if we were going to be building here. Alright, well, let's keep going. Quartz up there. Alright. Flint. Quartz. None of which helps us. What is that over there? Oh, that's another one of those, like, weird, yak creatures. I'm just gonna call them yaks. They're not yaks, they're like, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Muskox, I think, technically. That looks like a whole herd of Arctic wolves over there, maybe. I don't want to go mess with that. Yep, there's a raccoon. I'm gonna eat these pine nuts, though. Keep myself topped off on food. Not fall down that giant hole in the ground right there. Because that would be unpleasant. Alright. I should have actually stepped into the trader's bed. That's what I meant to do. Give myself, like, a solid, like, respawn point. Next trader that has a bed, we're gonna, like, take a short nap. Since I have bed respawn turned on. Empty. Oh, that one looks slightly different. Empty. Any of these? Empty. All these look empty. I mean, I have seeds to plant. Oh, wait. Flowering. Empty. Yep, these are all empty. Oh, right. We got some berries. Flowering. Empty. What kind are these? These are crowberries, lingonberries, branchberries. Hold on, let's see if I can make the crowberries into seeds. I can. Beautiful. And people might be wondering, like, why are you doing that? That's because I can go plant these once we find a place that's actually warm enough to have plants, you know. Let's go ahead. Actually, I'll save the charcoal here. Yeah, quartz. Alright. I'm going to start a little fire here somewhere. That was almost a disaster right there. Okay, let's see here. This one. With it snowing, it may get put out. May get put out. Let's find out. Come on. Yeah, it's not going to catch with it snowing. No? Yeah, no. Alright, so what we'll have to do... Sports. Is we'll have to make ourselves a little dugout area to get warmed up in. So... Heather leaves. Okay, yeah. More crowberries over here. Empty, empty, empty. Yep, alright. Just checking to see what I can find here. Alright, so we're going to dig into here real quick. Let's grab my dirt. Go. We're going to go up there. Over. Over. And over. Over. There. There. Go. Get out of my way, dirt. Or snow, I should say. Let's do this. Go. Do this here. And here. Here. There we go. Alright, let's get ourselves a little fire going here. We'll just do the fire like right here in that corner. There we go. Get it lit. Get it warmed up. There we go. And hopefully those windows there will be enough for the smoke to escape. Because I do have the realistic smoke mod on, so you can suffocate yourself with smoke in my current playthrough. Like, I'm actually starting to suffocate myself with smoke currently. Let me knock that one out. There. Give it a chance here to escape. There we go. Do it like this. There. That way you can escape up that way, and hopefully not, let anything in here. I've got my dirt block back. Maybe that'll work. Let's see. See if that'll work. Alright. Let's get our bed out. See what time it is. It's kind of evening, so we'll throw the bed down like right here. There we go. That way we can sleep through the night if we want. Take a few minutes. Check our inventory, see what's going on here. And let's see if we've got anything we can, like, set down and do inventory-wise. So we've got large hide, large hide. We put these cattails in here for now. Let's see here. We've got some carrot seeds, got a fire starter, some black coal, a little bit of copper we found. Put the firewood in there for now. Okay. Let's pick this back up. Put this back on our back. There we go. Now, I'd normally keep going. So we've gone about 1,000 blocks since we started. Oh, while we sit here, I'm going to check something real quick. Alright. And welcome to the stream, folks. We're traveling south in my Snowball Earth playthrough. Yes, that's basically done. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually pick my bed back up. We're not going to stop for the evening just yet. I think we'll keep traveling. I'm going to grab my barren soil to take with us to make impromptu shelters out of. Oh, pardon me. Alright, let's see here. we go. Alright, come on. Soil. Alright. So my goal is to travel around about 10,000 blocks south. We've got about 9,000 left to go, give or take. There we go. Alright. What do we have here? Oh, we have peat. Okay. It's like, what's this? It's just peat. I'm thinking I thought I'd gotten lucky and found medium fertility soil. Alright, heather leaves. Let's see here. What's going to be my best route through here? Yeah, we'll go that direction. Go around these mountains here a bit. Alright. Now my goal is to not get jumped by polar bears. Polar bears have been the thing that have been, like, the most dangerous to me. That and the cold and the food. Lack of food has been a real problem. Raccoons. Raccoons, have you been stealing my pine nuts? They have been eating the pine nuts. But I scared them and got the pine nuts. We're going to take these and turn those into pine nuts. There we go. Because that's extra food for us. These... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. That sound. I know that sound. Hold on. Where are they? I hear them. Here, I'm sitting out here in the middle of a frozen wasteland, smashing my face into this tree because I can hear bees. There shouldn't be bees in this environment. Where are they? I'm trying to be very careful about what branches I break. Well, that was the bees. We run now. That looks not friendly. What is that? Yeah, that's a polar bear. The answer was indeed that is not friendly. Okay, good. It's going off that way. And I'm surrounded by penguins. And caribou. Dwarf. Alright, so these are flowering, but not got any pine nuts on them. That's fine. You stay over there, polar bear. Oh, there's a trader over there. I want to go over there. Okay. Trader leaves. Is that... Those are caribou. Okay. I was like, what am I looking at? Laying on the ground. That was a caribou. Thank goodness. Okay. Alright, let's see here. Welcome to the stream, folks. We're still traveling south in our lovely Snowball Earth playthrough. I'm going to get my torch out just so I can see a little bit better in this nice Arctic night. That is a polar bear. We're running. We are running. We are running. Oh god, he's faster than I am. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Well, that leaves me with 11 lives. Where did I respawn at? Oh my god. I respawned way up here. Alright. At least... Oh no. Wait. Oh no. No. No, game. Why? Why, game? Okay. Well, that's my own dang fault. I just lost 10,000 blocks of progress on my journey south. Stupid polar bear. Well, welcome to the stream, folks. I've just reset all my progress. Because I didn't leave a bed down. So I have a mod for letting me use beds as respawn points since I don't know how I'm going to get temporal gears in any real effective way, shape, or form in this. Where did it even spawn me at? It spawned me like way the heck up here. Okay. Alright. Yep. As we now have to find our way back to, well, all of my stuff. Oh, wow. This is going to be rough. Okay. I'm not even sure I can... Well, I mean, my stuff will still be there. That's the interesting part, because I have the player corpse mods. My stuff doesn't despawn. Getting to it's going to be an interesting journey. If I had like, I'm not even sure how I want to do that. Just trying to think of what my effective travel method's going to be. Because well, I left my raft down in that area, so I don't have a raft up here. Well, actually, I might have a raft up here. We might actually be able to make this work. Hold on. Yeah, corpse retrieval is going to be an adventure. For sure. Alright. I do love the skybox, though. We got a nice, beautiful skybox. Think about the fact that, I died way far in the south. And I'm pretty sure there's very little food resources left on this starting landmass. And I'm already freezing. Is there another trader there? Why is there a light there? I don't recall there being a light there. Hold on, we're going to have to figure something out here. There is something different about this place from when I was last here. Because that's supposed to be the treasure hunter trader over there. Why is this lit up? Why is there a light here? I am very confused. There's a new trader here. Or I somehow missed this trader. Like my entire time wandering through this area. I will take these flint stones, though. Who are you? What are you doing here? Hi. It's a building materials trader. What's your name? Well, okay, well, I mean, you don't have anything that I can afford, because all my money's with my corpse, so... Actually, hold on. I'm gonna hop in your bed there. That way I've got a respawn point there, just in case I die as I try to find, well, anything. Let's see here. Because this should be the treasure hunter trader over here. So yeah. I'm slowly but surely freezing to death. Alright, let's see here. Can I get sticks? Sticks. I got a seed, not sticks. Okay. Larch branches. Alright, got 2 sticks. Got a 3rd stick. Okay, there we go. Now I need to make a knife. Get some grass. I can get a fire going. Heard something. Not sure what I heard, but I heard something. Alright. So let's see here. Let's get this going, because I'm going to need a knife. There we go. And knife. Done. Boom. Alright. Grass. Fire starter. Check. Alright, come on. Come on. We're gonna burn these pieces of random wood that I got there. There we go. Alright, come on. Just a little bit of warmth would be nice. Let's get some more grass while we're sitting here. Okay, not set myself on fire. Alright. Now, if I can get back to my original base right here... Oh, those did not burn long. Okay. If I can get back to my original base right there, there's some more supplies there I should be able to get. So let's grab a little bit more firewood real quick. Because I couldn't carry all my supplies south with me. So I had to abandon some stuff in my original base. So we'll see if we can't recover that, and see if that can't get us back on track. Alright, that plant's too close to the trader. Yep, okay. Let's put all of these in here. In here. There we go. Get a little more heat going. How are we doing? Still cold, but we're getting there. But welcome to the stream, folks. We've just had a disaster. I died right at 1100 blocks from spawn. And I'd lost my latest saved spawn point, and I was on my way to actually make a new spawn point when I died. So, yeah, it's been an evening already. And I have set myself a rule of after 15 deaths, we're going to call this series dealt with. And that was death number 4 or 5, I believe. I'll go back through and double check those numbers after I get done with this episode. Alright, no, that's not what I meant to do. Alright, let's get back to the original base I had and see what supplies are left there. I hope I don't get jumped by drifters or something. Man, I don't even have enough stuff to, like, make a torch right this second. Man. That death was so bad. It reset me so badly. Oh, man. Oh, goodness. Well, you know what? Well, awful. I think I can take this as an opportunity to do some retooling of my character's kit. Let's knock off the... There we go. And then let's grab that. And now we can make a torch. So I can at least see. Yep. Alright, here we go. Cool. Now we can see at least. Because I was actually getting pretty close to starting to work copper here at my original base. The problem I was running into here is that food was a bit of a problem. Yes, yes, I hear you, penguins. And farming is also going to be impossible up here. You're like, I can't even, like, even the cold-tolerant berries won't grow here. that a hole? That is like a cave. Alright. Yeah, so right over here in this little hill should be my old base. Yep, here it is. With my old pit kiln. Excellent, and I even have my old raft. Fantastic. What do I have in here? Nothing. Okay, well, we'll throw these sticks in the fire and get warmed back up. Yep. Hate burning those sticks. There we go. Put this in here. Okay, so I still have all my cold weather gear. That's good. I'm gonna burn these feathers to also get warm. There we go. I don't have any food. I do have these small pelts, though. I don't have enough to do anything with these small pelts, though. This is a fine pickle that I've gotten myself into. Alright, let's see here. Any fish at all? No. No fish. Okay, well, we'll come stand over here next to our fire while we try to get a little warm still. It's gonna be a real problem. So let's pick that up. So we're gonna need that. And we're gonna set our spawn. Yep, I know. Cold and hot and stuff. Alright. There we go, or whatever was going on there. Alright. Now it is morning. Or light enough anyways. We're still cold, but that's fine. We're going to go for a swim. Alright. There we go. So, to get back to my stuff, I've kind of got two options. I need to head over this way, using this primitive raft, and I have no food. Food's going to be a real problem. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll head across here, get to the next landmass, do some foraging or something, get something to eat. Even if that means, like, punching a penguin to death or something. What is that over there? Why does that look like there's light over there now? Is there a trader over there that I've missed? I mean, I won't complain about a trader. Alright, let's go see what this is. I feel like the world's regened some since I reloaded chunks or redone them or something. Because there's something over here. Oh, this is like an old fire or something. I mean, I'll take that firewood. Firewood's got value to it. Nope, no, leave one in here. I do think I saw a polar bear. Yeah, there's a polar bear running around over there. This is where I had a close encounter with a polar bear previously. Throw one more piece of firewood in there and get warm a little bit. Is the polar bear, like, fighting that goblin? I'm so confused about that. Alright. We're still a bit cold. Alright. So map-wise, maybe we got cranberries up here. There we go. Alright, cool. Let's see if we can't find these cranberries. See if I left any of them. Or if any of them have anything on them. Alright. They were like right over here. Yeah, here it was. And none of these have any fruit on them. Which I'm not surprised by. Okay. Map-wise, we're up here, so we kind of just need to go south. And look for some food on the way. Yep, my character is grumbling about being hungry. Not anything in these? No, okay. Those berries all empty. What's this? I will take the flint. Flint is good. Alright, yeah, I heard you, dude. Actually, what am I doing? There's food right here. Hold on. Yeah, come on. Let's make a spear real quick. So I'm running past a rabbit just trapped in a hole. That's just food, just sitting there, trapped in a hole. What am I doing? I'm not making good decisions because I'm overthinking things. Alright, there we go. Stick. And spear. There we go. Alright, where'd rabbit go? Where'd you go, rabbit? Come here, quit moving around on me. Dang it, missed. There. Yeah, there we go. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this with our knife. We're going to make it into jerky. There we go. Yeah, you can... I hear you, goblin. Dang it. There's the goblins I added with the fantasy creature mod. And let's see here. Nope, he didn't drop any loot. That's fine. Alright. Gotta find some more food. You know what? I don't need these. Those can get out of my inventory. Alright. Back to hunting for food. That looks like dwarf pine up there. Is that dwarf pine? Or is it heather? Heather's useless. Dwarf pine good. Where are you? Heather. Dang it. And it's probably more heather over there. Wait. There might be berries over here. Berries. Empty. Empty. What, you got some? You're flowering. Yes, we do have some food right here. There we go. Just enough to get our character to quit, complaining at us. And another goblin over there. Man, goblins. Alright, there we go. Alright. Now we continue our journey back towards our body. Having saved off hunger a little bit. Actually, what I should do... That was not what I wanted to do. Yeah. I'm gonna get some of these birch leaves here. For multiple reasons. Because we can use these, at least get us a little bit of inventory. Because right now inventory space is also a real problem. On top of the freezing to death and lack of food. There we go. Alright. Cool. Well, that's not enough. I'm gonna need more. More birch, please. Because these little thin withies, which I think is what they call them, they're basically like little really thin branches that are flexible, can be woven into baskets. Yep, is that enough? Yes, that's one. There we go. Alright, we have some inventory space. There we go. Alright, let's continue our journey southward as we hunt for food and other things. Cranberry bush with nothing in it. Any of you got anything on them? Nope. Nope. Okay. Let's go this way. We'll go around the mountain. Alright. heard you. Where are you? I heard some sort of critter. Empty crowberries. Empty. 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 My cat is sitting over here on my side table snoring next to me. Really? There we go. Sorry, bunny. I know I just point blank shot you with a spear. Alright. But you're worth jerky. Don't care about the hide. Alright. Alright, we'll keep working our way around the mountain. If I could kill that guy, he'd be worth so much meat. Hello, little goat. Oh, that's a baby. I don't wanna. Yeah, I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna attack that. That would be a mistake. We don't want to fight the baby muskox, because then mommy will get mad and it'll be bad for me. Because those things do hit kind of hard. Did I set myself on fire by accident? That would happen there. Come on, game. Come on, bush. Come on. Why am I getting hurt? Come on, bush. There it goes. Got one lit. I'm not that close to the bush. Quit acting like I'm on fire. There we go. At least we're getting warm now. What's up, game? Why are you... There's no, like... What is going on? It's treating me like I'm freezing to death, but I shouldn't be. Do that there for now. I think my food bar is actually empty. It's just not showing me correctly. I've been having weird little graphics glitches like that. And unfortunately, my jerky is not finished curing either, so doesn't help. Let's see here. Crowberries here. Yeah. And more quartz. More quartz. I don't need. We need dwarf pine nuts over here, or is this all heather? This is all heather. Yeah. You heather lance with your fake dwarf pine look. Flint. It's gonna be heather over there too. Alright. See, now it's showing me the hunger bar is empty. There's a temporal rift up there, of course. So, what's my rift activity? High, of course. Alright. Grab some more flint. Go. Alright, folks. Let's see what we can find. Maybe we can find something to eat in here. Cold, or hungry. Trying to get back to our body. Actually, this could work. Come on. Pine cone? Pine cone? Pine cone? Because you can also get pine nuts just from regular pine trees. Apparently not today. What's this? What's this? What's this? Pine leaves? We'll try it. Come on. Pine cone. Pine cone? Anybody? Yes, there's a pine cone. 2 pine cones. There we go. Food. We have food. Not much food, but we have food. There's like a whole... like 2 food. Why are we still taking damage now? Okay. He calmed down. It was just late. It was just like a delayed... Why am I... What? Why am I still hurting? Am I that cold? Okay, well, that's how it's gonna be a game. I'm gonna grab some horsetail. And let me find an unimportant bush. It's pine tree. I'm starting a 4-star. Yeah. Because I think we're actually freezing to death, so what's going on here? Yeah, I don't know why my character's so cold and dying. I'm not sure what's going on here. Crates? No? Come on, what's going on? Alright, we've stopped losing hit points. It was the cold. Alright, we were just way too cold. There we go. Alright. Oh man, this nice little log fire is going to help keep us in good stead though. We'll get our beef jerky's almost done. No, it's not really beef jerky, but... We're making progress south though. Back towards our body. If I can find some cattails, I can make some healing bandages, or poultices, and get my health back. I just need to find a better batch of food. All right, go. As we continue on. Alright, chat. Make sure to help keep an eye out for food for me. And if you see me walking past food here in this Arctic biome, you make sure you yell at me. You know, if I'm just being blind. Alright? Think you can do that for me, chat? Don't mind the randomly spawning in and out of existence trees. That's perfectly normal. Nothing to see here. That chunk is definitely not important. I'm getting some weird graphics glitches. Alright. Okay. All these pine trees here. With my luck, that'd be the chunks that had food in them. We've got a large cavern. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I know the shape. This looks very familiar. Besides the fact that I'm pretty sure that that's actually ore, not flint. It is lead ore. We found lead. Oh, and a drifter. I'm not fighting you, drifter. Especially not for lead ore. That's not worth fighting a drifter for right now. What is that over there? Is that a bear? Looks like we got a bear up there and a bear down below. It's like a polar bear and a grizzly bear right next to each other. How nice. They are technically cousins in real life, by the way. The polar bears and the grizzly bear. They are related to each other. We're running out of food again. But at least our jerky is now ready. Yep. Hey, don't complain. You got food. Just eat your snack. There you go. Now we're out of food again. Alright, so we've got a large body of water we need to get around. Let's go this way. See what's over here. Ooh, I see something that looks like ruins. I'm not doing a Homo sapien play, by the way. So there are like ruins and traders. More lead. There's just tons of lead in here. More blueberry bushes. Alright. Something useful. Come on. Come on, game. We have a hat. That is not as warm as my hat. We have an ingot that is not really useful. And Arctic supplies, which are probably more useful. I want those. I want... There. I wanted those cattails. Alright. What about these Arctic supplies? Wait a minute. Is that really what I thought I just saw? Hold on. It was. That... I got clay. I got fire clay. I'm checking out this game for the first time, see if I'd like it. I'd like to know, what are those trumpet sounds I keep on hearing? Oh, that's your character's voice. So, instead of having a real-world voice in the game, your character uses musical sounds. You select what kind of instrument your character uses for their voice when you make your character. I have a wrench. I don't need this wrench. Finding all kinds of weird things in the wild right now. But yeah, that's what those trumpet sounds are. And in this case, my character was making those sounds because he was starving to death slash, you know, taking damage. So you make those sounds when you take damage, or usually or things like that. In this case, it was because I was either too cold or starving. Most likely starving when you heard them. Yeah, sad trumpet sounds, exactly. That's exactly what it was. Right now, we're looking for more food because... So, to give you more context, this is my Snowball Earth playthrough, which is why everything is frozen in the middle of June in the game. And I made a critical mistake earlier and died. And my spawn point had been deleted because I was making a critical mistake. Hence a critical mistake. And my spawn point was moved back to normal spawn, and I had moved 10,000 blocks away from, well, actually 11,000 blocks away from original spawn. Was that a cave-in, or was that a bear? I just heard the sound of something behind me. The answer was, I think it was a cave-in. Sorry, raccoon. It's you or me right now. So, let's see here. Take that. Good, because I wanted the meat. Perfect. Gonna make that. There we go. I'm gonna throw this back down to here. Start that out. We're gonna get these cattails and make some healing poultice. This back out. That there. I'll throw that back up. There we go. Alright. I'm also dealing with very limited inventory right now because of these poor life decisions I've made. Now I have some healing, so I can get my health back while I walk, without using all of my food to do so. And so if you notice, I'm missing health. So you only regenerate health when your food bar is filled up over a certain amount, which is like 80% full or something like that. Or no. I think it will redo it the whole time, but you don't get as much healing. Okay, here we go. What's in here? Really? I did not need the lead ore. Yeah, I didn't need that. Alright. Can we give me something better next time? Mr. Cracked Pot? Nope. Okay. Well, that treasure was not useful. Alright. And I'm back to freezing to... Alright, come here, raccoons. Please stop running away. I need you to stay still for a second. I just want to hunt you. I know you don't want to be hunted, but it's okay. I just need to eat you. Come back here, raccoon. we go. Awesome. That's like fantastic right there. Got some more stuff, and I don't really need that. Go. No, I didn't need that. Alright, there was a fox over here that I just saw a second ago. Where'd he go? We have here blueberry bush. Other leaves. Sorry, fox. I want to break the snow out so I can see the fox. There we go. There we go. Come here, fox. Oh, we even got a fox hide. There we go. Alright. I feel bad about that, Mr. Fox, but I need your meat. Your bush meat will keep me going just for a few days longer. Assuming I can find something to make it long enough for me to... Oh, Bowtorn. Bowtorn, go away. Hello, Bowtorn. So I get stuck in the trees. Alright. Oh, that's force 4. I was like, wait a minute, is that medium fertility soil just sitting here? Alright. I got blueberries. Yes! Hello, blueberries. Apparently, the raccoons have been over there hard picking the blueberry bushes. So that's one of the things that I like about this game. Is, like, the raccoons will, like, pick blueberries and other berry bushes. And if you startle them, they'll drop them and you can have the berries. Uh-huh. You gonna fight me, Goblin? Goblins are not a normal part of the game, for anyone watching. They are added by a mod I have. There we go. We got some more healing poultice. So I can heal and stop using my very precious food bar. I hear another goblin. I don't know where that goblin is, but I hear him. There we go. Alright, we're fixing it. We're getting it turned around. Got our health going back up. We're making progress back towards our corpse with all of our cool and better equipment. Unless I get killed by a bear. Again. I mean, at least this time I'm not carrying a chest on my back to slow me down. So I can, in theory, actually outrun the bear. Though I am running blindly into the woods, which is not ever a good smart plan in this game either. Alright. I don't hear the bear anymore, but I'd rather not stop to find out if the bear is still there. Okay, bear's gone. Whew. Alright, well that just burned a whole bunch of my calories. How's this doing? Only 40% there. To being real food. Alright, let's see what we've got over this way. I'm also not taking the most efficient route. I should have just stayed on the water. Alright, let's head towards the coast, I think. Map-wise, where are we at? Well, it's going to be a long ways to the coast, but that's alright. But anyways, everyone out there having a good night so far? A good day? Nighttime for me. Alright. Take those sticks. And those sticks. You know, to be fair, if it wasn't for the fact that, like, all my good pelts and my hunter's backpacks were on my clips, I almost wouldn't care. That and the fact I have seeds. There. Ah, good that you've had a good day, too. But yeah, no. If you've been checking out Vintage Story and you like survival games, I highly recommend it. And if you're going to start playing, my advice, take some time in a little solo world, ease yourself into it, and get familiar with the handbook. So if you're in the game and you press the H key, it brings up this handbook, which will contain like every recipe and the different blocks and everything in the game in it, to help you like learn how to make stuff and whatnot. That's a bit of helpful advice. I hear more food. Yep, there's food right there. Hello, food. Who wants to volunteer to be food? Hi, food. Yes. Okay, so if you played Minecraft, that's good. That'll help you kind of know what to do. But this isn't Minecraft. Just go ahead and warn you. If you play Terraformcraft, though, that's probably a little closer, though. I feel bad about doing this, but I need the food. I think the penguins are actually starting to attack me, because the penguins will also attack you, by the way. Alright. Alright, let's do this. So, this was its own set of mods, effectively, that the mod makers made, and then they ran into an issue where they couldn't get some of the functionality they wanted from the Minecraft engine, and so they ended up making their own game engine to run the story and content that they wanted. There's a whole thing about it. They can get on their website and talk about it. Ooh. There we go. I want the feathers. No, I don't want the hides. Alright. Hang on. Give me the penguins. So you want that animal fat there. Because that animal fat I can just eat directly. Yeah, so they did start off as Minecraft modder. Yeah, that's right. And then ended up making their own game to do the stuff they wanted to do. Well, this is intentionally rough, so, like, don't... There we go. Alright, there we go. I can just eat this. Get myself some calories. There we go. Alright. Now, let's make some more jerky. Alright, I can't make jerky out of that. That's fine. What I can do, though, is take my knife and get some grass. Is there any grass around here? Grass? Because now my problem is cold. Because that's what my character is grumping about now. And I just need a piece of dry grass at this point. Problem is, with it being so snow-covered... Oh, that's a shiver. You do not need to fight the shiver. Should be some grass over here, though. Got all kinds of horsetail. I just need grass. Grass? Yeah, the challenge I'm doing is considered fairly tough. And I've done some things unintentionally to make it tougher. So, for example, normally you just set it to Snowball Earth. Well, since I'd never actually done a Snowball Earth challenge before, I never like messed with the settings before doing this challenge. I also set it to permanently winter. So, even though it is in the middle of June in the game, it's also permanently winter in the game. All right, so we're going to have to go around it this way, I think. Which has made it so that even in the middle of June, when normally you'd have some temperature variation, I'm still at like negative 11 degrees Fahrenheit at like 4 in the afternoon. Here's some grass. Found some grass. Alright, finally. So what I can do now is take this and 4 pieces of firewood and my torch. Here we go. What is that down there? I don't like whatever that is down there. We're gonna cook that penguin up, though. There's something down there. Yeah, so everything's always winter. Yeah, my goal is to migrate south, because, so, I also started up further north on the planet in a temperate zone. I'm basically trying to migrate closer to the equator, where even though it's winter, it will still be warmer. And The equator from where I started is anywhere between, like, 20,000 to 50,000 blocks. Probably closer to 20,000 because I didn't start in a polar region, so I didn't start at, like, the North Pole or something. So it should only be about 20,000-ish blocks. And where I'd gotten to, it was actually warmer during the day. Like, I got to a point where a couple times it was only -7 during the day and stuff. So, you know. Not, like, perfect, but, you know, better. So, normally, no. Now, some crops can survive that kind of cold. Like, rye can sort of survive in sub-zero temperatures. You don't want to really grow it in that, but it can. But I also have turned on underground farming. And one of the things you can do with underground farming is, when you get deeper underground, closer to the mantle layer, because you can dig all the way down to the mantle, basically. The further down you get, the warmer it gets underground. And so if you can find an area that's kind of okay on the surface, and then dig down to the mantle, you can actually get warm enough temperatures to grow crops. Now, the other problem I'm going to run into is because it's so cold. We're talking like 80 to 90 blocks deep. So from where I'm at right now, because if you look at this, I have my block coordinates here on the right side under the minimap. So so that 231 number is your east and your west, basically. The 3039 number is your north and south, and then that 118 in the middle is your height from mantle. So from this point where I'm standing right now, I'd have to dig 118 blocks deep to get to the mantle. Alright. Oh, good. My jerky cured, so I can actually eat this now and actually have a full belly. My health is still in the gutter, but I can have a full belly at least. Yes. Very similar block depth and stuff. I'm really killed for some dwarf pine right now. Oh, hello. I will take those cattails. Alright. I'm going to do something that I'm going to hate myself for, but we're going to do it anyways. Okay, let's go around. Go around. Instead of going through the cold water, let's not add being wet and cold to the already cold conditions. But yeah, so there's enough similarities to Minecraft that if you've played Minecraft, you should be able to figure out the mechanics relatively quickly as far as how things work, to some extent. One of the major changes, though, you'll have to get used to is how some of the crafting mechanics work. For example, while it does have the crafting windows, I don't really want to do that, but I need the food. There's also a lot of, like, not crafting in the windows. So, for example, if you want to make a knife blade, it's not just like some rocks in your crafting window. You have to sit down and nap the knife blade using the napping mechanic that they've made, which is actually really cool. And they also do pottery that way and stuff. Same with the blacksmithing as well. Yeah, here, yeah, so, yeah, if you've seen that in Terraformer Craft, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yep, well, I mean, that ice block, just, come on, stop sliding, please. There we go. I want the roots. Good. So these cattails have a double purpose here. I can use them to make rope and baskets with the tops. With the roots, I can also cook and eat. There we go, let's do... I'm going to take these cattails, and we're going to make some healing poultices. Get that there, and we're going to put that on the ground real quick. I don't have enough firewood. Well, let's do a little napping tutorial. I need to make an axe, so I shift right-clicked and selected stone axe. I'm not going to do it again because I only need one. Well, Flint axe. I heard something. Okay. And we're gonna knock out these parts by left-clicking with another piece of flint in our hand. There we go. And now we have a flint axe head. Take that with a stick. And now there's an axe. Alright, now that tree's kind of tall. And I don't really want that tall of a tree, but it's the closest tree. I feel safe here. So yeah. That's how they did it in this game. I don't know. I've never played Terra Firma, so I don't know if it's the same or not. I'm seeing something over there. I keep seeing a health bar pop up. Yes, there are. I have them turned off in this world because you can turn them on and off and change them. So, for example, I turned off cave-ins. There we go. That's good enough. All right. However, I left it on for sand and gravel, so... I normally do keep it on. Just, you know. But I didn't this time around because I wanted to be able to live in caves. Yeah, there's a lot of game options. You can fully customize the worlds quite a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and get my character healing up a little bit here before I light this fire. Like, you can custom how many days or in a month, things like that. All kinds of stuff. No. How fast your food spoils, because food spoils. Right, we'll just take this firewood with us for a minute. I don't need to stop and warm up now. Oh, hello, little raccoon. It does actually spoil slower when it's cold. Now, because it's in my inventory, not so much. But, you know. But if it was like in a... Because you can also do build a cellar to store your food in, which you should do. Because wintertime, normally it's harder to get food anyways. Yeah, and you can also build special food storage vessels out of clay, which also produce better storage results. I meant to cook these. That's what I was doing this whole thing. I was going to cook those cattail roots, I just remembered. And those storage vessels would give you basically better storage ratio or time. Like, I think if you get a nice cold area with the storage vessels built in an actual cellar that's enclosed in either stone or dirt, stone being slightly better. Oh, goodness, what am I being attacked by? A goblin. Thank goodness I'd healed up. Oh, man. Yeah, it's very similar, and I'm not sure if it's the same dev or not. That part I don't know. Yeah, I'm using mods. I'm actually using a ton of mods right now. Let's see. So we can see some of them here. Like, I'm using Arctic Survival, which is why I can even find cattails in this region. I'm using Millwright, which lets me build better windmills, and Primitive Survival, which adds a whole bunch of stuff. Like, you see me cutting, when you saw me cutting up the meat to make this bush meat jerky, that's from Primitive Survival, for example. I'm using Wild Farming Revival, which lets me get seeds in different ways than just finding them in the wild. The health bar is what lets me see enemy health bars and stuff. Smithing Plus just greatly improves smithing. I've also got a blood trail mod, so when I injure animals, they leave a blood trail that I can track them with. And then I've got about probably another 15 other mods, because this one's only showing some of them. My mods config thing is not showing all the mods on here. They have different configurations, but I've got a list somewhere I can post if people are interested. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to put a little more firewood in that. Forget how much it takes to cook these. There we go. So, yeah, there's a whole bunch of mods. And their mod manager is super easy to use. Like, it's very easy to add and remove mods kind of at will from the game. You can literally just download the zip files from their mod database and save them in a folder if you have a particular mod left. I actually have a server for my community. So if you join my Discord and talk to them, we can get you into the server if you want. You know, now that is an unmodded server. That's a vanilla server because I got a lot of people who are new and trying to learn to play the game. So, matter of fact, I think my community's on there playing right now. Last I checked. Man, how much more wood am I? I forgot how long it takes to cook these cattails. I don't have a bed on me. I just realized this would be a good opportunity to make a bed. So yeah, and the link to the Discord's on my YouTube channel, so you can go to my YouTube and join the Discord and other stuff. I will probably have more servers in the future for other games like Project Zomboid, which is another game I play a lot. I haven't done a series on it in a while because I've been absorbed in Vintage Story among other games. I'll probably do a server for that, but most of my servers are going to be for the Patreons who support the channel because servers are expensive. But this one server for the Vintage Story I've done just for everybody. It's a member of the Discord. There you go. And I'm going to need some more. Can we put this down right here for now? I do not have enough inventory. There we go. That's done cooking. Here we go. Put that last end. There we go. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great if you'd be willing to. I'm not going to tell people to. I mean, I understand times are hard for everybody. So, yeah, they are. Because I mean, it's like $3 a slot. So, let me do this in my offhand real quick. Hello, raccoon. Hi. I know you're running around. You're trying to escape me. But your precious, precious meat. Alright. There we go. We're going to drop that for a second. I'm going to go ahead and eat the fat. I'm going to throw out the hide. I don't need the hide. There we go. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna lose a little bit of satiation that way, but I need long-term food for my adventure here. Alright, let's get some more grass. Yep, that's enough. Bingo. Now, bed. All that just so I can make a bed. Take that with us. Alright, I think we'll continue on now. We've tarried here next to my little campfire long enough, and yeah, I think going around this way further will be our best bet. But yeah, the folks in my community they're a fun bunch, and they'll be happy to teach you more about Vintage Story if you want. You know, they've been very helpful for a lot of our new players, including my wife and kiddo, who both play with me. All right. I should really get some more. I don't really have any inventory space. We'll just continue on. So normally, there would also be a despawn timer before your stuff would despawn from when you died, like I did earlier. Normally it's 10 minutes. Which is also another configurable setting on the server. But I'm running a mod called the Player Corpse mod, that instead of dropping all your items on the ground, you drop a lootable corpse, which does not despawn. Should go around this way a little bit more, actually. Yeah, I made a mistake. Can I even get through here? No, I don't think I can. Back this way. And that's part of why I'm trying to actually get back to my corpse, because this stuff will still be there. Normally, if on a regular server, like that stuff would have been long gone, I've just written it off. Like in my vanilla playthrough that I've been doing a series on, and we'll probably be going back to my next stream. I actually lost all of my stuff one day. What kind of critter is that down there? Well, that's a raccoon. Is that a goat? Ooh, we have some dwarf pine, but they're all flowering and nothing in them. I imagine these raccoons have eaten all the stuff out of these dwarf pines. Sorry, raccoon. Oh goodness, that's a bad one. Alright. Never mind, I didn't want that food. So that was a bowtorn that was shooting me, for people who are curious. That's why I decided to abandon those nice fresh pieces of meat that I found. And the bowtorn has continued to chase me. Good lord. I don't have time for this bowtorn. I don't have armor or time. Alright. This is why a lot of people who play Snowball Earth playthroughs turn off the temporal stability issues and stuff, and mobs and things. I decided not to because I wanted to make it more interesting, and that was a mistake, if I'm honest. I hear you, Shiver. Get away, Shiver. So you really are gonna bother me? Dang Shivers. These Shivers. We're back in a forest where it's gonna be hard to see. Alright. Just run through here. Okay. I think I put enough space between myself and them. Maybe I can now have a little campfire or something here. There we go. Have a cheap campfire that I don't have to, like, build. Okay. Why am I on fire? I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I set the grass on fire. That's why I'm on fire. Come on, game. Please put me out. Put me out. Ah. Okay. Well, I set my wood pile on fire. I'm warm now. Oh, goodness. Alright. I'm just gonna do this real quick. Make some flax twine. Yeah, the red bar is my health. In case you hadn't noticed, I'm struggling a little bit with health. Green bar is food. That's how much. That's basically how many calories of energy you've got. And it goes down over time as you do things, and different things will increase the amount of calories you burn. So, for example, when I was carrying my torch in my offhand, that increases your calorie burn rate by 30%. As an FYI. When you run, it increases your calorie burn rate. They call it satiation, but I call it just your calories. It's just calorie count. It's how much energy you've got stored up in your body, and without it, you also don't heal, and in fact, you'll start starving to death. You can see the different stone layers here. Like, we've got some paradite, which would be great if I was trying to make steel. Is it's the host rock for a mineral called olivine, which you want for making refractory bricks. Nope, we found some native copper nuggets. That means there's a copper vein under this somewhere. And looking at the number of nuggets, probably not a small one either. And right now, I hear a wolf. Where's the wolf? I just heard that bark of a wolf. Where are you? Really rather not deal with you. Okay, oh good, I have some more food. Alright, we're gonna chow down on that food real quick. Yep. Or something. Alright. Grab these sticks. Alright. It's not an instant death. Your health bar starts ticking down. Until you can refill it. You know. Or you die. One of the two. Grab some sticks here. Which, you know, right now the hunger bar is about to be less of an issue as I'm working on freezing to death. Oh look, resin that I have no use for right this second. Ooh, fish. Fish. Come here, fish. Come here. Fish. No, come here. Come here. Come here. Fish? You gonna give me anything? Yes, I got a piece of fish meat. All hail fish meat. You don't starve today. Alright, so let's see here. Put that in the offhand for a second. Put that down. Get out my axe and find a smallish tree of some sort to cut down. Now this one will be fine. Come on, tree. Come on. I think my axe is about to break. As well. See how much wood I get. Come on. Oh, no, it didn't break. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay, so that worked out. That worked out. There we go. Out of my inventory. Yeah, get over there. Nope. Go on. Get. There we go. And I can light this up. And cook the fish. Get warmed back up and not starve to death. Alright, and then the other thing we're going to do is make some bandages. So, normally the way it works, your starting inventory is your hotbar right here. Okay? You can make baskets and bags that add more inventory space. Come on. I heard a wolf. I do not need a wolf right now. Please go away, wolf. Come on. Cook faster, fish. Cook faster, please. So, you see, I have these 4 additional slots over here. Those are basically your backpack / bag slots. So, each basket I make adds 3 inventory slots. On my corpse, I have 4 hunter's backpacks, which are made out of animal hides, which add 4 inventory slots each. And you can see that here. This is your inventory. And kind of the next upgrade from the hunter's backpacks are linen sacks, which you get from growing flax and making linen. And those add 5 inventory slots each. And then you can make leather backpacks, which add 6 each. Then from there, if you really want to, you know, like kind of hate yourself a little bit, you can make sturdy leather backpacks, which add 8 each. There we go. And then there's also some specialized bags you can get. Like there's mining bags, which add like 12 or even 18 on the really big one. But they can only hold things like ore or stone or pickaxes. Like, you know, it's not... So they're kind of limited on what they can hold. Actually, did I get enough of those to make, like, another basket? Because, so one of the mods I have is allowing me to make, like, baskets out of things other than cattails. Which is, like, these larch canes here. I keep hearing a wolf over there somewhere. And it's making me real nervous. I just want my cooked fish. Now I'll get out of here. Take this. I'm just going to throw these larch logs in there. I don't need them. But yeah, in inventory management, it is very crazy at first. Like, kind of your first play is you make yourself a flint knife, and then you go and hunt cattails to make yourself baskets. That's kind of like step number one, just so you can have enough inventory space to do like anything. There we go. All right. Got some cooked fish. There we go. Hunger bar is looking a bit better. Oh, we got some more cattails. Yes, that means I can make more healing and actually refill my health. As well as technically cook these. How far away am I from that corpse? Right now I am about 8,000 blocks from my corpse right this second. As I said, it was about 11,000 blocks from where from where original spawn was, which is where it resent me all the way back to, because I had destroyed my bed because I picked it up to take it with me. And that, in hindsight, was, yeah, hindsight was, you know, bad planning on my part, like completely bad planning, because I was even on my way, like I knew I had lost my bed, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get myself, you know, because I saw a merchant basically in the distance, and I know. And it was one of the ones that was big enough I knew he had a bed in there, so I was just going to go, like, sleep in his bed and set a new spawn point there. And I got jumped by a polar bear on the way to his house. And died. Okay, make a new knife. So I can get some more cattails. We're going to solve this food problem here in a really unfortunate way. And we're also going to make some more baskets. And some more healing. So to get the cattails, you actually have to harvest them with a knife. So unlike Minecraft, you can't do the whole, like, punch trees and get wood thing like you can do in basic Minecraft. You can pick up sticks and rocks off the ground just by right-clicking them with an empty inventory, with an empty hotbar slot, you know. And if you've already got some in your inventory, you'll just add them to the stack. But cattails, you specifically have to harvest with a knife. If you don't harvest them with a knife, you'll actually just destroy the plant. And in vanilla Vintage Story, cattails don't respawn. If you destroy the plant, it's gone. Now the roots, which I'm also harvesting in this instance, will just keep growing more cattail tops. So you can just like leave the roots and it'll grow more cattails. Now you can pick up the roots with a knife and move them, which is actually something I do often when I'm playing, and set them down near your base so you always have a supply of cattails. And they don't even have to be in water. You can actually plant them anywhere. And they'll grow, as long as it's not too cold out or something. Do I have enough cattails for another basket? I think I have enough for another 2 baskets. Beautiful. And see here, watch. 3 more inventory slots. And 6. There we go. So now I can take these. Alright, hold on. I need some horsetail, I forgot. To make the bandages. Well, healing poultice, specifically. 2 cattails and 4 horsetail to make some healing poultice there. Put these sticks in here for now. Now I can heal up a little bit. So, we're getting a look at Stone Age vintage story in Snowball Earth. Alright, so let's get my knife back out. I'm going to start another fire real quick. I'll just do it right there. Actually, I'll just put all that in there. All that firewood can go in there for now. And then we're going to light this fire, because I'm going to cook these cattail roots up, so I have more food. There we go. And I'll also let me warm up a little bit. Then I'll get some more cattails and some more healing. And one more basket. Having to gear up to reclaim my corpse, which has better gear. This is very awkward. Yeah, we're cooking. So, cattail roots, in real life are actually edible, if I remember correctly. They don't taste good, but they're technically edible. Same with, I think, the stalks. You don't want to eat the fluffy part, but, you know, the stalks and roots are technically edible. In this game, you can cook them. Yeah, so this game does a lot to, like, try and strive for, like, real survival aspects. Complete with, you can harvest mushrooms off trees, if you can find mushrooms. It's too cold out here for mushrooms where I'm at in the game. And some mushrooms are perfectly safe to eat. Some mushrooms will kill you. Having real-world knowledge of this will help you out. Now, the game will tell you, because when you pick up the mushroom, it'll tell you, like, oh, it restores this much, you know, satiation, and does this much hit point damage if it's poisonous, you know, beyond the tooltip. But if you have the mod that hides that information, because there is a mod that hides that information, some people like to hate themselves, I guess, then it's eat it and find out, you know. And they're actually adding more mushrooms to that in the future. They've got a plan to have more mushrooms, including some of the ones that do more, we'll say, interesting effects than just doing hit point damage. And that's something they've been, like, experimenting with. They're also adding actual fishing to the game in the next major update, along with rivers and water wheels for mechanical power. Right now, in-game is something called Jonas Tech. And that is, like, you've done all the story stuff and stuff. Oh yeah, water wheels are going to be super cool. But from, like, tool making and stuff, steel is currently end-game. And you make specifically blister steel, if you're familiar with steel making at all. It's currently what they have available. Now, you don't have to make steel to, like, you know, get through the current end of the story content, because there's actually a full story to this game. Iron tools and all are just fine for that. As in my vanilla playthrough, the entire purpose of my vanilla playthrough is actually to get through the current storyline in the game in its entirety, because I've never done it before. Am I hearing bees again? Yeah, there's a whole story. Because this is actually a post-apocalyptic world, by the way. Straight up. Like, bad things happened. There's a whole story that explains what happened, how it happened, who you are, and all that. Oh, there is so much lore in this game. Because there's also lore that isn't even, like, part of the, like, story of what you're doing or what you should be working on. There's lore of just, like, this guy wrote a diary entry about things that were going on, and you can just read it. You know. Somewhere in this tree there are bees. Oh, there they are, right there. Look at that. Beehive. I'll mark that. So one of the things I've had to get very good at is finding bees. Because if you notice, there's not like any big, like, giant sign that says bees here or anything. You just have to look for this little beehive. Yeah, you can make honey with bees. So the way you do that is you'll make an empty bee shop, which is basically a reed box that is especially built to hold bees. And you'll put it near the wild beehive. Yes, you can make cheese. If you can get animals and milk them, you can use salt and other things to make that milk into cheese. And depending on how you age said cheese will determine what kind of cheese you get. Is it cheddar cheese? Is it blue cheese? You know. Apparently blue cheese is like the super hard one to make. Yeah, alright, let's go back find our fire pit. See what we've got cooking here. Feel bad cooking all this cattail, but I needs the food. There we go, we're back up to sort of full inventory. Alright. Let's get some more health going here. I'm gonna carry some extra healing poultices with me, since I have the inventory space now. And the cattails. You can also make pickles, by the way. You can pickle vegetables. Like turnips and stuff, you can make pickles out of them to save them for long-term storage. There you go. And you can even grow fruit trees. Like you can find like apple trees and things like that, and take cuttings from them to grow more fruit trees. All kinds of stuff. You can make jam out of berries and fruits, as long as you've got honey. So you mix like, you know, three servings of berries in a cooking pot with like a serving of honey. There's like a certain ratio you use, and it'll turn into jam to make your fruit last longer because fruit spoils really fast. You can also turn the fruit into wine if you want to make it last even longer, and also get you drunk in the game. All kinds of stuff. I think it is very similar. As I said, I'm not sure if it's Terra Firma Craft or not that the Vintage Story devs like were inspired by or something. I know there's some sort of relation there. Again, I don't know of all that stuff. Yes, you can keep it. Matter of fact, you age it in barrels. So the way that works is you grab the fruit and stuff and you put it in a press and you press it into a bucket and you take that bucket and you dump it into a barrel. And you can do that until you've got 50 liters of basically fruit juice in the barrel. And you can just leave the fruit juice in the barrel if you want. Or you can seal it and let it age and it will become wine. And then you can just keep it in the barrel. Or you can put it in jugs if you want. You can make like clay jugs to keep it in. I should make another axe one thing. It's thinking about it. All kinds of stuff. And there's also mods that make it so you have to drink water and stay hydrated. If you want to get into even more survival difficulty. You know, there's all kinds of stuff. But what I'm talking about with the whole winemaking process, that's all base game. That's all vanilla. So, in base game, no. In the X skill mods, which I have right here, this is the X skill mod, which gives you a level up system. So that as you do things, you gain experience. Like, for example, just surviving, I gain survival experience. Combat, I gain combat experience, all that stuff. In this, if you want to unlearn a skill, yeah, photosynthesis. So basically, that one, the survival one, it makes it so that you like and get increased health regeneration during the day and stuff. So basically, if you have it, you get plus 15% health regeneration when the sun's up and in sunlight. But if you're in the darkness, like in a cave or something, you take a 25% problem with the health regen, slower health regen or whatever. But that's the X skills mod. It specifically adds a skill system, and there's other mods that add to it and stuff. But that mod, if you get drunk, it allows you to unlearn skills you don't want anymore. So this is actually my first time playing with that mod. I actually got some more wood. Need more wood. What tree do I want to cut? I'm gonna cut down this larch tree. I don't need this larch tree. It's not like a pine tree. Pine trees are important. Larch trees aren't. Fair enough. I think we all do. It's great. There we go. Grab all these up. You know, cool. Now we'll make more firewood. I had 2 left over. There we go. That's why. Okay. I'm gonna put this... Oh, by the way, so, like, this copper wrench, I found that in a raccoon's hole as I was wandering around, trying to get back to my corpse. Move this around a little bit. There we go. Come on. Hurry up and finish cooking my food. Yeah. So, when you're doing construction in the game and you put blocks down, if a block goes down and facing the wrong direction, you can actually use the wrench to turn the entire block to get it to face the direction you want. And there are gears. So, for example, well, actually on my corpse I had gears. So rusty gears are the currency in the game. So when you're doing business with the NPC merchants, they buy and sell in rusty gears. You want to sell them stuff, they pay you in rusty gears. You want to buy stuff, you buy it in rusty gears. Makes sense? And you can't make rusty gears. There's a mod that lets you make them, but base game-wise, you can't make them. And even the merchants are like, we don't know where they came from, and no one has a real use for them, but they're of a consistent size and weight, and of good manufacture, so we'll use them. You know, that's their whole philosophy. Because you can ask them, they'll tell you that. It's great. Yeah, post-apocalyptic currency. Yes, like bottle caps. I have a theory about where the rusty gears come from, but I'm not going to spoil that. The other gear you'll encounter in the game, you get from, like, you saw how I was fighting, like, some of those monsters, not the goblins, but, like, the Bowtorn and the Shiver and things that I was dealing with. They can drop what's called a temporal gear, which is a bluish glowing gear. Almost turquoise color, really, that glows. And those have multiple uses, from that Jonas tech I mentioned being like the in-game tech, you need them for that. And then also, in vanilla Vintage Story, and not where you're playing with a mod that lets you use a bed for respawning, because in vanilla Vintage Story, beds don't set a respawn point for you, like they do in Minecraft. Your respawn point is sent by getting a temporal gear and using it on a block. And that sets your respawn point there. I saw some stuff on the ground I picked up. Yeah. And since I wasn't sure in this world how easy it'd be for me to get temporal gears, I added the bed respawn mod. Though I did leave, like, the mechanical monsters, which are what the Drifters, the Bowtorn, and the Shivers all are. They're actually technically some sort of weird post-apocalyptic mechanical monster. And they're from this place called the Rust Realm. Or the Realm of Rust, however you want to pronounce it. But they're your source of temporal gears. You can also just get temporal gears when panning for, like, metal. So if you're panning, like, bony soil and gravel, I think you can technically get rusty gears and temporal gears from gravel. I'm not sure. I know you can get them from bony soil. Those are only on by default in vanilla. So the temporal gear respawn is by default. So it's only available in vanilla. There's no bed respawn. That's a mod you have to add. And yeah, by default, the monsters, by default, yeah, they're on. You can turn them off. Like, a matter of fact, if you do a Homo sapiens playthrough, because that's actually a setting, so you can decide when you're creating your world, do you want to do a survival world, which is your default? Do you want to do creative, which we all know what creative is? Do you want to do wilderness survival, which turns off, like, the map, so you don't get a map? Things like that. Or do you want to do, like, a Homo sapiens run, which turns off all the temporal stuff? You don't have temporal stability, you don't have mobs, but you still have animals. But there's also no traders if you do Homo sapiens. So you can, and if you do, like, custom, you can also do custom settings and turn off the mobs. Or, like, in my son's world, that I share with him, that I created specifically to teach my son how to play the game, I left all the mobs and temporal stuff on, but I turned the mobs to passive, so they would only defend themselves if you attacked them. So that he could learn to play the survival aspects of the game without worrying about being jumped by every drifter, Bowtorn, and everything that wandered around on the map. Yeah, it's got tons of options. And several of them you can even change, like, while you're already in the game. So, like, I can go to my settings here and, like, there's stuff in here. And then if I wanted to, I could use, like, you know, thing here, do, like, world config. And come in here and change settings, and it will, like, do that. And it'll show you the list of settings, like, on the, screen here, like, yeah, spawn radius, grace timer, death punishment. Like, I could make it so I could stop dropping my stuff if I wanted. You know, seasons, temporal stability, and all that. I heard something. That was a penguin. That was, okay. A penguin. Alright. And then for, like, the multiplayer stuff, like I have on my multiplayer server, there's a global auction house where basically you can go up to a trader, and they have an extra tab called Auction House. And you can basically be like, hey, I want to put this stuff up for sale. And the trader will be like, okay. And then any other player can go to any other trader in the world and see what's listed in the auction house. So that you can do global trading that way. So you're not having to travel 10,000 or even 100,000 blocks to meet someone to trade with them. Because by default settings, the world is 1,000,000 blocks. So, all kinds of things. Man, it's taking forever to cook these cattails. I forget how long it takes to cook these cattails. Alright, I'm gonna take this stack and we're gonna call that there. Cooking cattails. Let's throw that back in there. So, there's several transportation options. If you do the first chapter of the story, there's a trader who will sell you a mount, which is a tamed elk. Now, recently, they've added the ability to tame your own elk without having to buy one from that trader. So that's mounts that you can get. You got quartz there. Additionally, you can build a raft, which you can paddle around in. If you've played with the boats in Minecraft, very similar. Complete with, you can even put a small reed basket on the back of it to carry extra stuff with you. That's a bear. That's a bear. Gotta run from the bear. These bears are gonna be the death of me. Now that I'm running from the bear. And if you want to upgrade from the raft, the next upgrade, good, I lost the bear, is the sailboat, which is a lot faster, and it can hold like 8 chests. I mean, like real chests, not like little reed baskets. So basically a whole lot more storage. And you can also put passenger seats on it, and if you have the elk mount, you can take 2 of the chest slots you'd normally use for storing chests or passenger seats, and instead put your elk on it and carry your elk with you on your sailboat. As a matter of fact, in my vanilla world, I have a sailboat, which I've been using to travel around. Because by default, the story content is pretty far away. Oh, look, there's a trader right there. Like, the first story location you have to go to, once you learn where it's located, is something like, I think, between 10 and 20,000 blocks from the starting spawn. The next one's like 30k blocks out. So, that's why it's like, you should definitely get the elk from the merchant, or capture and tame one, you know? And so, people theorize they're going to add more transportation options at some point. Like, I would like to see them add an even bigger sailboat that's definitely meant to be, like, multi-crewed for multiplayer servers. Some people even talked about, like, maybe they'll add, like, you know, some sort of airship. What kind of trader are you? You're a furniture trader. And your name's Robert. How nice. So here's the trade interface. So this guy sells, like, doors and lanterns, and he sells chests. So if I had 2 rusty gears, I could buy a chest from him. Not that I would want a chest right now, because I have no way of using it. The lantern would be worth it if I had 10, though. Totally would buy the lantern. But he buys, like, different colored glasses, embroidered scarves, workman's pants, carpet, nails. If I had something he'd buy. So the stuff on the right is the stuff he'll buy. So right, if I had copper nails, he'd buy 2 of them for 1 gear. Or black bronze nails, which I would never sell black bronze nails. Just because I would never make black bronze nails. Same with the bismuth bronze nails. I mean, I'd make the tin or bismuth bronze nails if I needed to for something. Yeah, so there's 3 types of bronze in the game. There's tin bronze, which is the most commonly made. There's bismuth bronze, which you'll make if you can't find tin, usually. And then there's black bronze, which if you've somehow found a source of gold, you can make it and just be like, I think it's actually a real life thing. I'd have to double check. It's been a while since I've delved into like bronze metallurgy, but yeah, black bronze is annoying to make, and if I made it, I would definitely not use it to make nails. Gonna be honest. Oh wait, no, I was gonna do this real quick. I want to set a spawn point. I'm gonna sleep in his bed for a second. There we go. Now I have a new spawn point. Splint. But yeah, no, so there's metallurgy in the game that you have to deal with, like brass. You can make brass from copper and zinc. Oh, good. Thank you for looking that up for me. I wasn't sure. Yep. Silver and gold and copper. Tiny bit of silver and gold. Yeah, it's like you don't need a lot. And you can get some of that from panning in the game. That's red willow. Like, if you pan bony soil, which is basically dirt you find left over from kind of before the apocalypse and like grave sites, sort of, you can pan gold out of that. Otherwise, you have to mine for gold and silver inside of quartz veins in the game. Let's check my map here. Okay. This is very hilly terrain. That's very forested. Let's get my torch out here in the offhand so I can see a bit better. What's going on with this? This is just like a cliff? Okay, that's just a cliff face. But yeah, there's all kinds of cool details in this game. Eat some of these cattail roots. There we go. Like, to get your first bits of copper, really, like, you can walk around and pick it up off the ground from the surface nodes you find occasionally. But you're going to be picking up a lot of, like, surface copper, trying to get enough copper to make an actual tool. And I prefer just to leave that on the ground just so I know where the surface copper veins are. Like, I still mark it on my map, because you can go on your map and make a waypoint to remember where you saw it. But I like to leave them there so I know where, okay, it's right here, I need to dig down right here to find the actual underground vein of copper. It's just splint. The other option you have is if you can dig up gravel, you can pan the splint. Oh, we've got a ruin here. So you see these bricks in the ground? This is like a partially buried ruin. So I could like dig around and find some of that bony soil potentially in it. Or even like a cracked vessel, which is basically like a storage unit. Potentially. I'm not going to do all that though. There's more of it. It's a bigger one than I thought. There's something running from me. I think it's a raccoon. Getting cold again. Getting cold again. Alright. I want to get closer to where my corpse is. What I'm doing is also very dangerous, wandering through a forest at night in this game. It's a good way to run into wolves and bears. So, I didn't turn on finite lives, but I'm keeping track. When I die 15 times, I'm going to call the series over, and we'll see if I completed kind of the goals I set for myself. So I kind of set a couple goals for myself. One, I want to get farming set up somewhere, which means I have to find a place where I can actually get some farming going. And, ooh, we get some berries. Nice. And the other thing I want to do is I also added a mod that basically lets me summon in merchants and traders by building basically the right kind of house for them and then building an item that spawns the trader in question. And my goal is to see if I can get like, a full set of traders. Basically. Which will require me to like establish a base somewhere. And whatnot. So that's just the goal I've set. And so when I've died 15 times, we'll see if I've succeeded in doing all that. Or if I succeed in doing it before then, obviously. No. Consider the series complete there at that point. Alright. This is getting very foresty again. Oh, is this peat? No. It's forest floor. Alright, we're gonna stop and build a fire here. Okay. Alright, where's my firewood? There it is. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. Hold on. Get a block of dirt. Put that here. There. Keep the snow out of my fire. Otherwise, it will put it out. While we're sitting here heating up, might as well cook a little more food. So yeah, so I've set a personal limit of 15 lives. Now, I could set an actual limit of 15 lives in a hardcore world. Or 20. It gives you, like, set lives. But I didn't do it, just because I didn't want to delete the world. You know, when I died that many times automatically. Alright. What time is it in game? It's almost midnight. Alright. I've got a realistic smoke mod, which means I can now actually suffocate myself with smoke if I'm not careful. Let's see here. I'm gonna grab more dirt. There we go. Come back over here to the fire. I'm gonna throw one down right there. One down there and there. It'll keep me mildly safe. Not very safe. Need some more of these berries. I'm not standing in smoke game. Come on. There we go. Alright. How's my temperature doing? It's going up. Yeah, okay. I'm still close enough to fire. Good. Alright. It is getting kind of late for me, though. And I do, unfortunately, have a day job that I have to go to in the morning. So I'm probably going to call this stream there, folks. I want to thank everybody for coming by and hanging out with me. And, you know, I hope to see y'all in the next episode. And thank you for subscribing to me. That was great. Yeah, I'll be around. I actually posted my schedule today. This is a new schedule, of course. I'm gonna be streaming. Like, I always stream on weekends, but I'm gonna be streaming. I think it was Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. I have to check the schedule I posted. And I also do some long form videos, just a couple during the week now. Well, three. But I'm switching mostly to streaming just because I like it better. It's more fun for me. But anyways, enough chit chat on my end. You all have a great time, and I hope you all had a great day. And if it's whatever time it is for you guys, we'll catch you in the next episode or next stream, whatever. And you all have a good one. Have a good night.